So many people recently have been saying to me, Shane, I just feel so tired, like a tiredness that runs right deep down into the core, down into the blood and bone. Spirit often say to me, how can we find peace in a world that is not peaceful? How can we sleep in a world that is not restful? Those questions are really profound, and when I hear them, when spirits spark those questions, it cultivates a huge amount of inquiry. Like, you just kind of drop into yourself and you think, whoa, and you self-inquire. And I think that that's the key to these times, that we just try to create this awareness, this cultivation around slowing down. And in doing so, to ask the really important questions without losing yourself to the question. Okay, so how can we find peace in a world that is not peaceful? How can we rest, sleep in a world that is not restful? Really profound. My belief is that we need to remember that we come from here, okay, and we've been thrown into here. Okay, now that happened a very long time ago. When we were so high, we were thrown into the school system in the way that system is. Look at children now, at 6 years old taking tests. It's like, right, you're ripped away from play, you're ripped away from your heart, you're ripped away from your divine creativity, your imagination, and you're thrown into here. You think about, people feeling so tired, there they are trying to get out the door, trying to just absolutely freaking survive. Now, we weren't designed just to survive and exist. We were designed to thrive. Okay, so we have to look who's become the jailer of our prison. Okay, who is holding us in that way of being? Okay, and it boils down to one thing that ain't even real. Okay, and now you're thinking, what is that thing? If you kind of search in here, you'll know what that thing is. It ain't even real. It's a man-made construct. Okay, the air we breathe, the water we drink, that's real. Okay, other things within this world are not real, and who are they benefiting? Okay, profound questions. Okay, so we need to gently remember that we come from here. Okay, we need to get rooted, get out of here, get out of our heads and back into our heart. Now, I'm not saying that that's an easy thing, because it's far from easy. And everything I say and share is because I have journeyed and traversed that pathway, or am traversing that pathway, because it is ongoing alchemy. It's never a beginning and an end. Okay, we ascend, we descend, we ascend, we descend, and every time we descend, we embody the ascension, the learning, the growth, the alchemization. So much of this is what we explore within our mystery school traditions and the soul alchemy journeys and our evenings of connection. I believe that if we can remember what has happened, how we've ended up here, and overthinking, the amount of people that say to me, I just don't sleep anymore. Why? Because we're thrown into here constantly. Those people that are rushing out the door to get to work, then getting stuck in traffic, and everyone's getting annoyed. Everyone's in a state of anxiety. Rush, hurry, rush, hurry. What the is going on there. It all is engineered at some level. You know, in times of crisis, we must return to the hearth, to the fireside, to our stories, to the land, the stones and stars, and we must hold one another with courage, heart and grace, and remember who we truly are and everything we have ever been. Sending you all so much love, and remember, keep shining.